She was only 10 years old. A bright, curious little girl who loved horseback riding, spending time with friends, and surprising her mom with little handmade gifts. Her name was Amy Mihaljevic. She lived in Bay Village, Ohio, a quiet, picture-perfect suburb where nothing bad ever seemed to happen. But on one ordinary October afternoon in 1989, everything changed. Amy was at home when the phone rang. On the other end was a man. He spoke politely, calmly, like someone who knew her family. He said he was a friend of her mom's, that her mom had just gotten a big promotion at work, and that he wanted to help Amy pick out a surprise gift for her. A secret between them. Amy smiled. It sounded sweet, harmless. She agreed to meet him the next day, after school, at the Bay Square shopping center. She had no idea she'd just accepted an invitation from her killer. The next day, October 27, 1989, Amy left school just like any other Friday. She told her friends she was going to buy her mom a gift. Around 2:45 p.m., witnesses saw her near Baskin-Robbins, her backpack slung over her shoulder, waiting. Minutes later, she was gone. That evening, when Amy didn't come home, her mother Margaret called police. Bay Village, suddenly filled with patrol cars and reporters. The entire community searched. Posters went up. Volunteers walked miles. Everyone prayed. But deep down, everyone feared the same thing. That night, Amy's empty bed sat untouched. Her favorite stuffed animal waited by the pillow. And the phone, the same one that started it all, stayed silent. Sometimes danger doesn't come from dark alleys or masked strangers. Sometimes, it sounds like a friendly voice on the other end of the line. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The search for Amy Mihaljevic became one of the largest in Ohio's history. Police interviewed hundreds of witnesses. They followed every lead. They even brought in the FBI. But the clues were thin. Amy's bicycle was still at home, meaning she had walked. Witnesses remembered a man, mid-30s, light brown hair, tan jacket, seen with her near the plaza. Then, nothing. 4 months, there were candlelight vigils and televised appeals. Margaret, Amy's mother, stood before cameras, pleading for her daughter's return. She never gave up hope. But on February 8, 1990, hope turned to heartbreak. A jogger in Ashland County, 50 miles away, found Amy's body in a field. She had been murdered. Her horse-riding boots and earrings were missing. Investigators believed the killer kept them as trophies. Parents across America were shaken. If something like this could happen in a quiet town like Bay Village, it could happen anywhere. And that's when Amy's story became more than tragedy. It became a warning and a lesson. Predators don't always use fear. They use trust. The man who took Amy didn't lure her with candy. He used familiarity. He knew just enough about her family to sound safe. That's how grooming begins. Parents, listen carefully. Teach your children that anyone claiming to know you must be verified directly. Create a family code word, something only you and your child know. If an adult doesn't know it, your child walks away. And remind your kids, adults never ask children to keep secrets or help them with surprises. Amy didn't know that then, but you can make sure your child does. And still, even as the nation learned from her story, Amy's killer was still out there. And soon, investigators would learn. He had been watching her for weeks. Over the next 3 decades, detectives chased thousands of leads. They built profiles. They tested evidence. They interviewed suspects. Every road led to another dead end. Until 2018, when technology offered a new clue. Forensic analysts re-examined fibers found on Amy's clothing. They discovered a match to carpet from a late 1970s or early 1980s Buick. It wasn't much, but it was enough. Witnesses had remembered seeing that same kind of car near Amy's school again and again. That detail changed everything. It meant Amy's abduction wasn't random. It was planned. He had watched her, waited for her. And that's what makes her story even more chilling and more relevant today. Because in 1989, predators had to follow children in person. Today, they can do it from behind a screen. Parents, this part matters. Social media makes it easy for strangers to learn private details. A photo in a school uniform, A post about practice times. A location tag showing where you are. Each tiny clue becomes part of a map that someone dangerous could use. So here's what you can do. Turn off automatic location tags. Avoid posting your child's school or team names. And talk to them, really talk, about what's safe to share online. Amy's story reminds us, it's not about fear. It's about awareness. Technology changes. The tactics don't. Familiarity. Opportunity. Those three words, if recognized early, can save lives. And yet, one question still remains. Who killed Amy Mihaljevic? And why has he never been caught? Amy's case is still open. Detectives still chase new leads. Every year, new tips come in. And though her killer has never been identified, her story still matters. After her death, Amy's parents devoted their lives to helping others. Her mother, Margaret, appeared on TV and spoke in schools across the country, teaching children how to protect themselves. Her story inspired the Amy Center for Missing Children, dedicated to child safety education. Amy's name became a symbol, not just of tragedy, but of awareness and hope. Parents, talk to your children about safety. Not in fear, but in confidence. Teach them that their instincts are valid, that it's okay to say no, that it's okay to step back, that it's okay to tell someone they trust. It's been over 30 years since Amy's life was taken. Her classmates are grown now, many with children of their own. And when they tuck their kids in at night, they think of her. That bright little girl with the 80s jacket and big smile who just wanted to make her mom proud. If there's one thing to take from her story, let it be this. Trust your instincts. Teach your children to trust theirs. Because sometimes, that tiny voice that says something isn't right is the one that saves a life. Even if they're scared. The man who called Amy used kindness as a weapon. But awareness is stronger than fear. And if you ever learn anything at all, that could help Amy's case, contact the Bay Village Police or the FBI Cleveland Field Office. Even one forgotten detail could bring justice. Because Amy's story isn't just about loss. It's about vigilance. It's about awareness. And it's about hope. Subscribe, share her story. Because every share keeps her lesson alive. And every listener might be the reason another child is saved. Stay aware. Stay safe. And never forget Amy Mihaljevic.